It's Thursday, November 27th. Today on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. Guilty as charged, former Halifax bouncer convicted in the death of a bar patron. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And flu, COVID, and RSV. It's the season for respiratory illnesses. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Lisa Berra will join us with some timely advice to keep us healthy this winter. That's in our 7 o'clock hour.
Plus, tech the halls. Amber Mack shares her top gadget gifts, guaranteed to wow the whole crew. All that and so much more coming up on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
And it is Thursday, November 27th. Gosh, the month is nearly done. We're heading into the very last weekend of November. December's next week.
Black
Ooh,
Friday.
I know we talk about, yeah, it is.
Tomorrow.
Oh gosh, yes, today is American Thanksgiving.
It is. You know what else is happening stateside too? It's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as well.
Yes. Wow, forgot about that one.
Yeah,
a big one.
It's a big one coming up later in the news. Not this newscast, but later in the show, I'm going to be showing you some highlights of all the prep that is underway.
Amazing.
Excited to see.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Cool.
At 6:01 at the moment, driving in a couple hours ago, it was very, very wet. Kind of like yesterday, but even more intense. Interesting. Is that rain going to last longer?
We are going to see it around into the afternoon and then starting to clear out of the maritime region, leaving us a bit of sunshine today.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a wet start to the day. Nonetheless, we are seeing this low pressure system kind of move east over to Newfoundland and Labrador.
Oh gosh, you get ready for it, Newfoundland and Labrador.
I know. You're in for a treat.
A treat.
So yeah, it is a bit of a wet start to the day for much of the region. We'll take a live look right now at Port de Grave. It's a dark start to the day. We are going to see showers and or drizzle in your area as well. You can see the ground is wet and you are going to see showers on and off throughout the day today in your area. It's not a bad start to the day, quite warm for much of the region. We are going to see temperatures again remain above seasonal as your daytime highs for much of the Maritimes at least. 5 degrees heading outdoors right now in Fredericton, 7 into Charlottetown and Sydney, warmer in Halifax with 9, even warmer in Yarmouth with 11, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at this system that is tracking across the maritime region right now. We are going to see it slowly move out into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for many areas. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, parts of those provinces starting off with sunshine and then seeing a chance of flurries and or showers move back in. Over to our current wind. Will continue to pick up throughout the day as well. As of right now, 43 kilometers per hour for North Cape, 41 in Grand Etang, 22 in Halifax with 20 in Miramichi, as well as into Yarmouth. Wind gusts as of right now getting up to 52 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 35 in Miramichi, and 28 into Shelburne. We'll have a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you so much, Latavia. A former bouncer has been found guilty of manslaughter in the death of a patron outside a Halifax bar 3 years ago. Ryan Sawyer died in hospital on Christmas Eve of 2022 after being choked outside the now closed Halifax Ale House. Bouncer Alexander Levy testified that he squeezed Sawyer's neck for 10 to 15 seconds. However, the Crown used witness testimony and video footage to argue Sawyer was choked for closer to 2 minutes before his death. The victim's parents say they'll keep fighting for government accountability for bar security staff.
This could have been prevented. We are going to push forward, and we're not going to stop until the Premier of Nova Scotia recognizes that this needs to be done, and it needs to be done with proper regulation. They need to be regulated.
Sentencing is scheduled for April 24th. Neither side knows what they'll recommend yet, and the defense says it is too early to say if they'll appeal. Halifax police are investigating a homicide in the city's North End. Police were called to Gottingen Street between North and Kennard just after 11 a.m. Wednesday, where they found a badly injured man. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. At this point, police have provided no other details on the case, including whether any arrests have been made. 2 people have now been charged in connection with a fatal shooting in St. John more than 2 weeks ago. The shooting happened around 11 p.m. on Remembrance Day on St. James Street. A 42-year-old man was found seriously injured and he later died in hospital. On Tuesday, police charged a 33-year-old man with second-degree murder and a 27-year-old woman with accessory after the fact. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he will be seeking a third term as Premier of the province.
But we are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
Houston made the announcement last night as the PCs held a celebration 1 year after their government was re-elected with a supermajority. The Conservatives took 43 of 55 seats in the last election. And although this is only 1 year of the second mandate, last night's announcement did sound a lot like a campaign speech. Houston fired up supporters, saying they have achieved a lot since they were first elected in 2021, but there's more work to do, and he's committed to defending Nova Scotia.
The PCs are the only party that can defend Nova Scotia. We build it, they try to block us, but we are the party that will build it. And folks, friends, let me be very, very clear with you tonight. When the next election comes, I will be here to see that fight through as leader of the PC party of Nova Scotia.
Now, the government is staring down a $1.2 billion forecast deficit for this year. The next financial update from the province is expected sometime next month. Finally, the Prime Minister has announced some funding to help the lumber industry expand and diversify in the wake of U.S. tariffs. Mark Carney estimates U.S. tariffs have cost Canada $50 billion so far, about $1,300 for every Canadian. His 5-year budget goal is to unleash $1 trillion to allow Canadian businesses a chance to diversify. That's about $3,500 per Canadian. Among other measures, the Feds say they'll start subsidizing railway fees by 50% to transport Canadian steel and lumber across the country, and there's real cash available as well.
We will also provide an additional $500 million to the Business Development Bank of Canada's Softwood Lumber Guarantee Program to ensure that companies have the financing and the credit support that they need to maintain and restructure their operations during this period of transformation. And similarly, we will deploy $500 million in funding under the Large Enterprise Tariff Loan Facility, specifically for softwood lumber firms, the larger ones facing liquidity pressures.
The government also launching a Canadian Forest Sector Transformation Task Force to gather suggestions from provinces, territories, and industry on how to seize new opportunities and grow the sector. We'll have a bit more on this and also steel impacts with more in your national and international news headlines coming up after our next break.
Thank you so much, Amanda.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We're caught up to date on news. It's important to give a programming note to our viewers. If you love the CTV News at 5 and 6, well, tomorrow, Friday, November 28th, both evening news shows that usually air on CTV will now air on this station, CTV2. The scheduling changes due to an afternoon NFL game that will air on CTV this Friday. So that's tomorrow only, 1 day only. You don't have to turn the channel. You can watch our show and then just keep on watching it all day long if you want to. Or what I do is watch our show, go get some things done, and then treat yourself to a nice cup of tea and watch the evening news.
Exactly.
Catch up on everything.
Exactly.
And if you're not caught up, don't worry, I'll have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Thursday morning. Also, too, coming up after the break, Latavia has the look at the long-range forecast. We're saying good morning to our viewers in the capital of New Brunswick this morning. Hello to Fredericton. Oh, as you can see, it's a wet start to the day. Some holiday lights on outside City Hall. Latavia's got the forecast next.
Happy Thursday, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 6:12. It's just about, there you go. Here's a live look at Halifax. It is 9 degrees starting off your day, so a much warmer start to the day. But as you can see from our live eye cam, quite a wet start to the day. So something to keep in mind when you are heading out early this morning, seeing wet weather across much of the region today. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca, and a warmer start to the day as we inch towards the end of the work week. As of right now, 5 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton with 6 in Moncton, 9 degrees in St. John, New Brunswick, 10 in Yarmouth with 7 in Sydney, 8 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, -8 over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at our forecast time, and you can see quite wet for all 3 maritime provinces. We do have a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of northern New Brunswick. Other than that, periods of rain start off the day and then starting to transition over to a chance of showers before becoming a mix of sun and cloud for much of the region. Newfoundland also seeing some mixed precipitation early this morning for the most part, and Labrador is pretty clear early this morning, but this low pressure system will continue to make its way over into the evening hours. This afternoon, we're still going to see a bit of fog across parts of the maritime region and some wet weather continuing for parts of all 3 maritime provinces. But for the most part, we'll start to see sunshine, and then into the evening hours, pretty clear skies, just partly cloudy as we inch towards midnight. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, that's when that system really begins to take over both those provinces, a chance of flurries and or showers. Into early tomorrow morning, we do have a sunny day ahead, much colder for our daytime highs. It's going to cool down. If you're wondering about our rainfall outlook, we're looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters across parts of New Brunswick. This is additional to what we got yesterday, 2 to 10 across Prince Edward Island, and around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia. For Newfoundland, looking around 2 to 10 millimeters as well. And then for our snowfall outlook, we will be seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for the northern region of New Brunswick, and then 1 to 10 for parts of Newfoundland, 1 to 10 as well for parts of Labrador. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, we are starting off the day with periods of rain. Into the afternoon, starting to see that clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs today will range from 3 to 11 degrees and wind gusts getting up to 40. Prince Edward Island, much of the same. Showers and or drizzle will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the mid to late afternoon. For the most part, going to remain quite cloudy, 8 to 12 degrees actually for Surrey. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're going to see that precipitation early in the morning into the mid to late afternoon, seeing sunshine with highs between 11 to 14 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing. Showers and or drizzle will begin the day, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud, highs between 11 to 12. For Newfoundland and Labrador, we are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of Labrador and into Labrador City, looking at a high of -8. Mainly cloudy skies, seeing flurries into the evening. And then for St. John's, Newfoundland, a high of 4 degrees, rain and or drizzle on and off throughout the day as well. For our forecast for Friday, as I mentioned, for the maritime region, starting to cool down as we inch towards the weekend. We are still going to see a chance of showers and or flurries, but very sparse and light in its activity. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation, but for the most part, also going to remain quite light. Friday evening, this starts to increase just a bit, seeing a little bit more flurry activity for parts of the Maritimes as well as into Labrador. Newfoundland still seeing mixed precipitation. Into Saturday's forecast, lots of sunshine, but we are still seeing a bit of isolated flurries for parts of Nova Scotia into the northern region of New Brunswick, and still seeing flurry action for Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a look at your weekend forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. In Washington, 2 National Guard members remain in critical condition after they were shot while patrolling the street in the U.S. Capitol. This morning, we're learning new details about the suspect. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio has more.
This morning, 2 National Guard members are in critical condition after they were shot while on duty just blocks from the White House. Authorities say the suspect, identified as 29-year-old Ramanula Lakanwal, allegedly tracked the guardsman before opening fire. ABC photographer Chris Plater was nearby and heard the gunshots.
One National Guard was lying on his side. And then I looked at the other National Guard member that was down, and I saw compressions going on.
There was countless personnel around him, and they put him in a truck, and a minute later they were gone.
The gunshots erupting Wednesday afternoon near the Farragut West Metro Station, where the National Guardsman was on patrol. Authorities say he was then shot by other Guards members and taken into custody critically injured.
The reason that this suspect is in custody is because of the bravery of the men and women of the National Guard who responded due to their extensive training to secure American lives today.
Some 2,000 members of the National Guard have been on deployment in Washington, D.C. under President Trump's crackdown on violent crime. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says he will follow the president's request to have the Army Secretary order an additional 500 troops into the nation's capital. Now, the FBI is investigating the shooting as a potential act of international terrorism, trying to determine if it was inspired by an international terror group. Sources say Lochinwall is believed to be from Afghanistan and entered the U.S. in 2021 during the Biden administration. He was then granted asylum earlier this year under the Trump administration. President Trump overnight called for the re-examination of all immigrants from Afghanistan admitted under the Trump administration, saying, quote, "We must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country." And the Trump administration has now suspended all immigration requests relating to Afghan nationals, pending further review of security and vetting protocols. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has offered an economic lifeline for the steel industry, battered by U.S. President Donald Trump's punishing tariffs. CTV's Judy Trin has more on the plan and the reaction.
The steel industry is teetering after half a year of enduring 50% tariffs imposed by Donald Trump.
Our order books are not being filled up at this moment because nobody's investing. It's such a real perilous time.
The new measures aim to further reduce the amount of foreign steel.
We must protect our workers and our industries who are most exposed to U.S. tariffs.
For the countries that Canada does not have a free trade agreement with, suppliers like China, Taiwan, India, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates, they will now be limited to 20% of what they sold to Canada in 2024. The government estimates that could boost domestic steel sales by $850 million. Other countries with free trade agreements will be capped at 75% of what they sold last year. U.S. imports won't be capped, but all American steel products will face the 25% tariffs Canada previously imposed. The government will also subsidize the cost of transporting steel and lumber across provinces by rail.
The second broad way to drive transformation of our strategic industries is by becoming our own best customer.
To push Canada to buy from its own producers, the government will end remissions to companies hurt by American steel tariffs. The opposition leader criticized the measures.
He promised he'd negotiate a win with President Trump with a deal by July 21st. No deal, no win, no elbows.
Mark Carney says he'll see Donald Trump next week in Washington when he's there for a FIFA World Cup event, not to discuss trade. Carney says the U.S. has yet to indicate that it wants to resume talks.
CTV's Judy Trin reporting in Ottawa. Finally, the Olympic flame has begun its journey to the Winter Games in Italy after a bit of a false start. Overcast weather in Greece forced the ceremony from Olympia's outdoor temples, where the torch is normally lit by the sun, to a nearby museum. Backup flame, kindled during Monday's rehearsal, was also used instead. Once the torch reaches Italy, it will be carried across the host country by about 10,000 runners before the February 6th to the 22nd competition. A quick break here on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic, but when we return, we'll have your must-see moment from our colleagues at TSN and your business headlines. That's right after this. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Good morning to you. It is now 6:24 and time to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Center for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Matt Scooby with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. For that, we will head to Anaheim, where the Canucks were taking on the Ducks. Brock Besser going to chase down the loose puck and find Connor Garland, and he does the rest. Undressing the defender and Peter Mrazek for a beautiful goal. Garland stick handling in a phone booth. A little dangle. His 6th of the season. He earns your must-see moment from Wednesday. Well, today on TSN, it's American Thanksgiving, so we've got a full slate of NFL action starting with the Packers and Lions at 11 a.m. Eastern on TSN 1 and 4. And that's it from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Now over to your business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
Apple's new iPhone 17 is propelling the company to regain that title and beat Samsung for the first time since 2011. The 17 is being snapped up by consumers in the U.S. and China, 2 key markets. Apple will ship around 243 million iPhones this year. Samsung, about 235 million. This is coming from Counterpoint Research. It means Apple will end up with just over 19% of the smartphone market. Samsung, just over 18.5%. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up to 71.23. West Texas Intermediate crude is up to 58.65. Western Canadian Select is down to 45.34. And the TSX gained another 279 points today for another record close, moving over 31,000 for the first time. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. Today, we're looking at periods of rain starting off the day, transitioning over to showers and or drizzle, then clearing for the northern and, well, the central and southern region of the province, rather, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. On Friday, we're looking at a chance of showers starting off the day for the northern region and the southern region of the province, and flurries for the central region, a high of 3 degrees. Friday, cooling down, Saturday, rather, cooling down even further, a high of 0. Lots of sunshine for the central region of the province. For the rest, seeing cloudy skies. And then for Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 12 degrees today, seeing showers and or drizzle clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. And then for Friday, scattered showers, but also seeing clearing for parts of the province, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 7. 1 degree on Saturday, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, evening flurries for the southern region. Prince Edward Island looking at a high of 12 degrees today. Isolated showers and or drizzle across the province, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Friday, a high of 5. Same thing applies, starting off with the showers, seeing a mix of sun and cloud. And then into Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 1.
Just ahead this morning, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know what your oh my gosh, Crystal, have a cup of coffee. What your leave the house essentials are, and not your phone, not your wallet, the other stuff you can't live without when you're out of the house. We'll chat about that in 15 minutes on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hey, good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us at this hour. And also, too, happy American Thanksgiving to our friends south of the border, too. Many Canadians, too, still travel to the U.S. if they have friends and family there to visit. Busy time to travel there. And that's also marks the eve of Black Friday shopping.
Yes.
But as many of us have been seeing, too, it seems like the Black Friday deals, they're not like the in-person deals where you have to get up really early, wait in line to really save some money. Feels like they've just been like ongoing all week.
I was chatting with our friends from Crescent Golden Diamonds. They were chatting about how they've gotten away from kind of the, what they used to call like the door busters.
The door crasher.
Yeah, the door crasher, and they spread it out over time just because I think since COVID people have changed their shopping habits a little bit. So.
Oh yeah, their deals. Incredible.
Right?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I need some new bling.
Right? I know. But lots of deals right now. And there may be some places with the lineup for the in-person deals that if you were lining up outside, what are you looking at?
You're looking at a wet start to the
Okay,
day.
bring a raincoat.
Yeah, but you know, it's perfect day to go shopping inside.
Yes.
Here's a live look at McAdam. You can see it's quite a wet start to the day. We are seeing periods of rain early in the morning, transitioning over to showers and or drizzle. But we will be seeing a bit of sunshine return for parts of the region. So specifically parts of the Maritime region that will start off into the mid to late afternoon. Another warmer start to the day, 5 degrees in Fredericton while you head out in Charlottetown, 8 degrees starting off your day, 7 into Sydney with 9 into Halifax, -8 in Happy Valley Goose Bay, -3 degrees in Cartwright, 2 degrees over in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that current system we're still dealing with as of right now. We are going to see some mixed precipitation track across the region, but for the most part, seeing some wet weather early in the morning. So keep that in mind when you are heading out. You may want to allot some extra time out on roads. Another breezy day is expected. Right now, we're seeing sustained wind of 43 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 37 into Grand Etang, 20 into Halifax and Lunenburg, 28 over in Miramichi. Wind gusts as of right now, 54 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang and 33 into Yarmouth. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first, a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A former Halifax bouncer has been convicted of killing of a bar patron on Christmas Eve 3 years ago. The victim's parents say this court case is just one part of their struggle to make sure it never happens to anyone else. CTV's Callum Smith has the details, but first a warning, some of the footage in this item will be upsetting to some viewers.
An emotional embrace for Ryan Sawyer's family after a judge convicted the man charged of manslaughter and criminal negligence causing death.
I would say nobody wins today. We've lost a son.
The judge scolded Alexander Levy for his role in the early morning hours of Christmas Eve 2022, saying the former bouncer's chokehold on Ryan Sawyer was overzealous and disproportionate, and that he ramped things up using extreme violence rather than de-escalating. He agreed with the Crown's position that Levy had applied the chokehold, squeezing and pulling back on Sawyer's neck for approximately 2 minutes, not the 10 to 15 seconds Levy testified to, ultimately rejecting his self-defense argument.
Justice Chipman canvassed every shred of evidence in this case to come to a conclusion that Mr. Levy was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So we think the decision was thorough and well-reasoned.
Justice Chipman took exception to much of Levy's testimony, finding his evidence not believable in virtually every critical area, saying his direct testimony came across as over-rehearsed, calling parts of it incredibly contrived and self-serving, adding that he intervened after Sawyer was held by another bouncer and was no longer a threat.
He's in a reasonable state of shock, and he's just processing a very difficult moment in his life. Ryan was trying to save his brother. At one point at the door, you could see him reaching and trying to pull Kyle out of it. When Kyle was on the ground, I can't breathe, Ryan was trying to get to him. And he died trying to save his brother.
Sentencing is April 24th. Neither side knows what they'll recommend yet, and the defense says it's too early to say if they'll appeal. But Sawyer's family knows they'll keep fighting for government accountability for bar security staff.
This could have been prevented. We are going to push forward, and we're not going to stop until the Premier of Nova Scotia recognizes that this needs to be done, and it needs to be done with proper regulation. They need to be regulated.
Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
A study on surgical wait times is out, and Canada as a whole isn't doing so well. The data was compiled by secondstreet.org, and it shows almost 24,000 patients died in this country while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic scans. Notably, not all cases involved were of the life-saving variety. They did range from heart surgery to hip replacement and cataract removal. Still, company president says patients' quality of life is affected the longer they wait.
People that are suffering during their final years, waiting on waiting lists instead of living their lives, and in some cases, patients actually dying because the government simply took too long to get them the care they need.
In Nova Scotia, 727 people died while on a wait list, 178 on Prince Edward Island, and 121 in New Brunswick. The data covers the fiscal year April 1st, 2024 to March 31st, 2025. New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt spoke about the impact of tariffs on the sector at a Chamber of Commerce event on the forestry sector, I should say. In Moncton Wednesday, Susan Holt admitted the impact of American tariffs has been significant, noting the resulting layoffs are having a direct impact on the economy.
Not a pretty hand that we've been dealt. And when our exports, which number to about 17 billion, 92% of those go to the U.S., this is really a time to retool and to look in other directions.
Holt says the province will launch an economic development strategy in the coming months. Finally, you could say this is a welcome form of inflation. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade goes today in New York City. From Super Mario to Minions, lots of characters and plenty of balloons will take shape and take to the skies, along with floats, entertainers, and marching bands. More than 100 balloon technicians and volunteers. They've been inflating giant characters since Wednesday. Wow. Yeah, I know. Look at that. Can you imagine being under that tarp like, oh, here we go. But they know what they're doing. The parade is scheduled to start at 9:30 a.m. Atlantic time if you're curious. And it is rain or shine, though they do have to be aware of wind conditions.
Yes.
In particular for this event. Crystal, you've seen it in person.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I went one year. It's so neat. The year I went, Mariah Carey actually was on a float.
Oh my gosh.
Really cool. And they had the Broadway show. School of Rock was out at the time. So like the actual Broadway act. Like it's just so neat. It's just like a movie. And in real life, like these people are right by Central Park. Where I was on the route, it wasn't even that crowded. It was, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a really neat experience.
What a sight to see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw Hendrix preparing to perform. K-pop Demon Hunters.
Ooh, okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, we love that for you.
Thank you.
It's pretty big worldwide right now.
Worldwide. Speaking of, still ahead, we'll have your entertainment headlines. But coming up, it is the Move Morning Chat. And today we're asking about the essentials you leave the house with. We're not just talking about, okay, your phone and your wallet. Like, what is another item you can't leave the house without? We'll have those details coming up.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:42. Taking a live look at Lunenburg. 10 degrees starting off your day. We are expecting some showers and or drizzle early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. That's exactly what we're expecting for most of the Maritime region. Clearly, I'm having trouble speaking this Thursday morning. Much warmer start to the day in the Maritimes. A bit cooler for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. But as of right now, it is 3 degrees in Bathurst with 5 in Fredericton, 9 into St. John, New Brunswick and in Halifax, 8 degrees in Charlottetown, 7 in Sydney, and looking at 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that current system we are still dealing with, making its way over to parts of Newfoundland now. We are going to see mixed precipitation over in parts of Newfoundland as well as into parts of the Maritime region. For the most part, starting off with periods of rain early in the morning, fog patches as well, and then transitions over to a chance of showers and or drizzle before clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for parts of the region. Still dealing with a bit of precipitation into the afternoon. Newfoundland and Labrador, that's when the system completely starts to overtake those provinces. Going to see a chance of flurries and or showers for parts of Newfoundland. Pretty clear skies for the Maritime region into tonight. For tomorrow morning, it's going to be a cooler day ahead, but still going to remain above seasonal for most of the region. If you're wondering about the rainfall outlook, we're still going to be dealing with 2 to 20 millimeters for parts of New Brunswick. That's additional to what we saw yesterday. 2 to 10 across Prince Edward Island and around 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia. For Newfoundland, also going to see around 2 to 10 millimeters of rainfall. If you're wondering about our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for parts of northern New Brunswick, looking at 1 to 10 for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Starting off the day with periods of rain, we'll transition over to a chance of showers and or drizzle, and then clear for much of the province into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Wind gusts getting up to 40 kilometers per hour. And then for Prince Edward Island, looking at highs between 8 to 12 degrees, being the warmest into Surrey. Showers and or drizzle throughout your day today. Could see a bit of sunshine into the mid to late afternoon. Wind gusts 50 kilometers per hour. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. We're starting off the day with wet weather. That will clear for parts of the province, this part of the province, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Same thing goes for the rest of Nova Scotia. Starting off with some wet weather, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the mid-afternoon. Wind gusts of up to 50 as well. Newfoundland and Labrador are going to see a bit of sunshine as well for parts of Labrador, but for the most part, we are going to see a bit of flurry activity, and that goes into parts of St. John's, Newfoundland as well, with periods of rain and or drizzle. Into Friday's forecast, much of the same. A bit of a chance of showers and or flurries for parts of the region, seeing a bit of sunshine as well. And then into Saturday's forecast, sunshine returns, much cooler day ahead. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. It's that time again. We're talking about the Move Morning Chat. And this morning's question is, besides your phone and wallet, what is something you don't leave home without? Peter, take it away.
I have so many things that I don't leave home without that I have to carry them in my much talked about on the radio, Merce.
Merce?
Yeah, man
Merce. My purse. Okay? Let me give you an example. Earbuds. Okay? All of these keys, wait a second. Here they come. Because clearly I am a school janitor when I'm not working here. Also, I mean, yes, it also has my wallet and my phone, but it has my eyeglasses as well. If you saw, and today only, it also contains my passport.
Where are you going?
I am a lot.
Nowhere.
Right?
Going nowhere.
No, but it's a long story, but I have to have my passport with me today. I'm not traveling, but I need to take it somewhere.
Okay. His Merce is always with him, and it's talked about so much on the radio that people stop him at the grocery store and say, "Hey, nice Merce."
Yes.
I know a couple of people in the control room have seen him shopping with the Merce and told me, "Tell Peter, what's with the Merce?" So that's his, for sure. The thing I never leave the house without is my emotional support water bottle. And I find this kind of funny because I don't know, Amanda and Latavia, if you guys can relate, but growing up, I don't really remember ever drinking that much water, right?
Right.
Yeah, right, no.
Yeah, and now all you see is kids walking around with water bottles 4 times the size of their head. And if I don't have mine with me, the second I realize I don't have my emotional support water bottle, it's like my mouth is the desert. I'm so thirsty. I'm worried about not being hydrated. I need to have this with me at all times.
Okay, but what's the brand you use, Erin?
Well, I'm a Yeti girl. I've always been a Yeti girl,
nice.
and I just love my Yeti, so that's mine.
Oh my gosh, I'm with you there. I feel like when we were kids, what were we drinking of? Just like those old water fountains that were probably not very hygienic.
Kool-Aid.
Okay, so mine, intentional or not, I always have this either in one of my jacket pockets. You know what it is. Okay, jacket pockets or in my purse. I have extras in my cars. Wherever I go, I have a doggy poop bag. Everywhere I go. And I really like these ones because they're extra strong. If you don't know, my little guy, Dewey, is half black lab, half golden retriever, and he leaves behind mountains. And you never want to be caught in a situation where he decides to leave a landscape and you don't have a way to clear it.
Wow.
I don't want to ever be that person. And then, you know what? If you need to pick up something gross off the ground, it works. It's an extra bag for shopping, clean. Always one of the doggy poop bags.
That's a good one. Oh my goodness. Okay, for me, definitely my water bottle. Unfortunately, I was telling Amanda I don't even drink it. Maybe like one sip throughout the day, so it's a waste of time carrying this big jug around. But the biggest one for me is Kleenex. I cannot, if I leave the house without Kleenex, my whole world is turned upside down. So I grew up having a deviated septum. The girls here know I am widely loud when I blow my nose. And then I had 2 brain surgeries that made my nose the worst, like Booger Island, okay? So if I don't blow my nose, Kyle likes to say, don't pull out a snot rocket. And sometimes it'll just pop out, so I have to be prepared, because who wants to see the person that's on their morning show giving the weather have a big pile of booger and snot on their face while driving? Yeah, it's disgusting.
Okay, we hope you guys aren't having breakfast. Oh my gosh, we went off the deep end for this one. So let us know if you agree with us, if you have some of the same items, or if you have a very good Merce you'd like to share with us. You can send us a text at 10400. Besides your phone and wallet, what do you never leave the house without? We'll share your answers later in the show.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:53. I'm very excited for the new season of Stranger Things. Apparently, the first episode came out last night, way past my bedtime, but it broke Netflix.
Whoa. Oh, I know. That's very exciting. All right, let's head over to Hollywood for a look at your entertainment headlines.
All right, Carrots, any idea where you want to start?
If you want to find you a reptile, I am your gal.
Zootopia 2 earned just over $10 million in preview screenings on Tuesday, according to Variety. The Disney film, which officially opened on Wednesday, is projected to make $125 million to $150 million over the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Disney is a parent company of ABC News.
Since you've been gone, I can't breathe.
Kelly Clarkson has just scored a spot in the Spotify Billions Club. Her Grammy Award-winning 2004 hit, Since You've Been Gone, is her first song to reach 1 billion streams on the platform. Record Store Black Friday returns tomorrow and will feature 170 exclusive releases at independent record stores across the country, including first-ever vinyl releases from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Fleetwood Mac, and 2 new releases from Bob Dylan. For the full list of releases and participating stores, visit recordstoreday.com. And happy birthday to Bill Nye the Science Guy. He turns 70 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
The repeat.
Well, in case you missed it, it's time to shine a spotlight on a sport of lacrosse. The Halifax Thunderbirds have made quite an impression on the city and the region in the short time they've been here.
CTV's Jonathan McGinnis takes a look at the growth of the sport and the local athletes who are finding success in the Pro League.
Year 6 for the Halifax Thunderbirds is just around the corner, and fans are ready. He scored! Some Nova Scotians are getting ready for the season in a different way. Leo McGraw is one of 2 players from the province who will be on a National Lacrosse League regular season roster.
It's an honor, honestly. It's something I'm really excited about and really proud of. Something I've been working for a long time. This was a dream of mine since I was a little kid.
The other is Philadelphia Wings defender Alex Pace. And there's his score. Coming home to play is always a big deal.
For me, it's always special because, I have lots of family and friends, and I grew up going to Moosehead games there, so to be able to walk on the floor and play is always a special feeling.
The sport has grown about 20% year over year in Nova Scotia since the pandemic. Part of that growth has been the excitement of having a pro team in the region.
I remember the first couple games, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and now it's hard to even get a seat in the arena.
That popularity can be attributed to the product on the floor and the team's presence in the community.
So we have our Thunderbirds, our Sticks for Kids program, where we go into schools and we kind of teach lacrosse for the first time for people who maybe have never seen it before.
There is one person who has graduated from T-Bird fan to player. 20-year-old goaltender Ashton Brown has made the team's practice roster for the second time.
As soon as the Thunderbirds came in to Halifax, it really brought to my mind that that there was more to go with lacrosse than just playing around here, and that there's future opportunities in lacrosse.
Brown says it's only a matter of time before more local young players are also finding success at a higher level. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
New Brunswick is expecting precipitation early in the morning, clearing for parts of the province into the afternoon, leaving sunshine with a high of 5. Friday, we're looking at showers and or flurries for parts of the province, and then on Saturday, a high of 0. Mix of sun and clouds starts off the day, increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. Nova Scotia is looking at the same thing, a chance of showers and or drizzle early this morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Friday, a high of 7, starting off the day with scattered showers, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. And then on Saturday, a high of 1, a mix of sun and cloud with evening flurries for parts of the province as well. Prince Edward Island's looking at isolated showers and or drizzle today with a high of 12. On Friday, showers start off the day, a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Sunshine returns on Saturday.
Thursday, November 27th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, a growing crop. Moncton-based cannabis producer gets new money from the province to support an expansion. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And 'tis the season of respiratory illnesses. Dr. Lisa Barrett will be here to share timely advice on how to stay healthy as we head into the busy and social holiday season. That and so much more coming up on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us. It's Thursday, November 27th. Running out of time for November, apparently.
Yes.
Sorry, I took such a pause there. I was like, computing. See, commuting. I can't speak anymore.
Computing.
I average like 4 hours of sleep on a good day, so.
Yeah, I know. And sometimes coffee helps, but it's not quite enough to get you there.
Not anymore.
There are young parents who are watching you right now or parents of young children, I should say, who are going, yeah, I am in the same situation as you, and they're going cheers to the TV with like a double espresso.
I'm in awe of you every day, Latavia, how you can come to work and at the hours that you do.
And stay so positive.
Stay so positive, do a great job.
And thankfully, it really helps that I love what I do.
Yeah.
It really gets me to bed. If I didn't, who knows if I'd be working right now.
Oh, I can't commit. I'm too tired.
Yeah.
Oh, if only that were the way, gosh. Right? Oh, what a dream. Okay, we're heading over to Port aux Basques. What's the weather like today?
It is a bit wet for parts of the region today. For parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, they will be seeing more precipitation heading their way as this low pressure system continues to move east. As of right now, it is just a chance of showers and or drizzle, but it will pick up to periods of rain a little bit later on. So another decent start to the day for most of Newfoundland, seeing warmer temperatures early this morning as well as into the Maritime region. 5 degrees right now in Fredericton, 9 degrees in St. John, New Brunswick, as well as into Halifax, 7 in Sydney, 8 into Charlottetown, -3 in Cartwright, -9 over in St. Anthony, and 2 degrees for St. John's. Over to our satellite and radar. So this is the low pressure system that moved in yesterday, starting to slowly clear out from the Maritime region, but still dealing with showers and or periods of rain starting off the day. Will clear for parts of the Maritime region, leaving a bit of sunshine. Newfoundland and Labrador are going to see that mixed precipitation make its way over and take over both those provinces. Over to the current wind. Continues to pick up as well. As of right now, 37 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 43 in North Cape, 28 into Miramichi, 20 in Halifax and Lunenburg. Wind gusts getting up to 54 right now in Grand Etang, 35 in Yarmouth. We'll have another look at your long-range forecast, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A former bouncer has been found guilty of manslaughter in the death of a patron outside a Halifax bar 3 years ago. Ryan Sawyer died in hospital on Christmas Eve of 2022 after being choked outside the now closed Halifax Ale House. Bouncer Alexander Levy testified that he squeezed Sawyer's neck for 10 to 15 seconds. However, the Crown used witness testimony and video footage to argue Sawyer was choked for closer to 2 minutes before his death. The victim's parents say they'll keep fighting for government accountability for bar security staff.
This could have been prevented. We are going to push forward, and we're not going to stop until the Premier of Nova Scotia recognizes that this needs to be done, and it needs to be done with proper regulation. They need to be regulated.
Sentencing is scheduled for April 24th. Neither side knows what they'll recommend yet, and the defense says it's too early to say if they'll appeal. Halifax police are investigating a homicide in the city's North End. Police were called to Gottingen Street between North and Kennard just after 11 a.m. Wednesday, where they found a badly injured man. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. At this point, police have provided no other details on the case, including whether any arrests have been made. 2 people have now been charged in connection with the fatal shooting in St. John more than 2 weeks ago. The shooting happened around 11 p.m. on Remembrance Day on St. James Street. A 42-year-old man was found seriously injured, and he later died in hospital. On Tuesday, police charged a 33-year-old man with second-degree murder and a 27-year-old woman with accessory after the fact. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he will be seeking a 3rd term as Premier of the province.
But we are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
Houston made the announcement last night as the PCs held a celebration 1 year after their government was re-elected with a super majority. The Conservatives took 43 of 55 seats in the last election. And although this is only year 1 of the 2nd mandate, last night's announcement sounded like a campaign speech. Houston fired up supporters, saying they have achieved a lot since they were first elected in 2021, but there's more work to do, and he is committed to defending Nova Scotia.
The PCs are the only party that can defend Nova Scotia. We build it, they try to block us, but we are the party that will build it. And folks, friends, let me be very, very clear with you tonight. When the next election comes, I will be here to see that fight through as leader of the PC Party of Nova Scotia.
Despite the positive vibes and messaging last night, the government is staring down a $1.2 billion forecast deficit for this year. The next financial update from the province is expected sometime next month. Cannabis is now New Brunswick's most valuable crop, surpassing potatoes and dairy. That is according to cannabis producer Organigram, which wants to grow even more. To help with that, the province is spending $2 million on upgrades for the facility. However, cannabis is exempt from the recent interprovincial trade reduction agreement, but Premier Susan Holt says it can still be included.
So I think the opportunity is still there to make sure that every province is on board and that it's something that that Canadians want. They want to see barriers broken down. They want to see us have it be easy to do business between provinces.
We have a high market share here in New Brunswick, but having that ability to sell cross borders without that additional tax would allow us to be more profitable.
Organigram's biggest markets are in Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. The provincial money will go toward Organigram's $9.3 million lighting project for LED fixtures in 75 grow rooms. The Moncton facility employs more than 800 New Brunswickers. Finally, in Alberta, a man has reunited a stuffed bunny he found at the Vancouver airport with its owner after quite the adventure. Joey Gibbs found the stuffy while waiting on a flight to Seoul and decided to take it traveling, detailing the bunny's adventures on social media. WestJet contacted Gibbs to say the owner had been found. Turns out a mother and her young daughter had lost the bunny while returning from a visit home to China. So Gibbs says he's glad the bunny story had a happy ending.
Oh, yeah.
You never know. There are so many parents out there who say, oh my gosh, I never want to lose this item of my child's because they love it so much. There's so much sentimental meaning, and you don't want that to be the one thing you lose. So
Totally.
Bunny's back.
If you find something like that, yeah, you should hand it into the authorities so that they can, you know, the people could call the airline or whatever and get it. My son still has it. She actually sleeps with it sometimes. Is a stuffed elephant he had as a baby named Doodaloo. Doodaloo was with him everywhere. He'd be the thing that would be his Merce, you know, because he would take it everywhere. Anyway, we lost it a couple times on the street, in the park. Yeah, it was one time, I'll just say real quick, we were at a thrift store and he left it in the bin with all the other stuffed animals, and luckily I went back like late at night and got it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was still there. Nobody would want it. It was pretty rough around the edges, but thank heaven it was still there.
Well, you got it back.
Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, we're going to have a quick break here. I'll have your national and international news headlines, and Latavia will have the latest look at the forecast. Good morning to our viewers in Hampton as they get ready for the day. As you can see with multiple live eyes this morning, they all have a common theme, wet weather. Details next.
Happy Thursday and welcome back. The time now is 7:12. We're taking a live look at Antigonish. 8 degrees starting off your day and quite a wet start at that, so keep that in mind. We are going to see precipitation clear out into the late afternoon, leaving a bit of sunshine. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing pretty much the same for much of Atlantic Canada. As of right now, 4 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 6 in Moncton, 9 degrees starting off your day in Halifax, 7 in Sydney, 9 in Charlottetown, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Bit of a cloudy, foggy, and wet start to the day for much of the region. We are going to see periods of rain early in the morning, transitioning over to showers and or drizzle, and then going to start to see it clear out a little bit into the afternoon, leaving a bit of sunshine for parts of the region. This low pressure system continues to track east, bringing mixed precipitation to both Newfoundland and Labrador, as well as into the evening hours. We do see that precipitation completely clear out from the Maritime region. A few clouds return and fog patches develop, taking us into early Friday morning, where we do have a bit of sunshine in our forecast and a bit of isolated showers as well for parts of the Maritime region. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we're looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of New Brunswick, 2 to 10 for parts of Prince Edward Island, and 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia. And then for Newfoundland, we're looking at 2 to 10 as well. Then for our snowfall outlook, we will be seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall for parts of northern New Brunswick, looking at 1 to 10 for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our forecast today for New Brunswick, seeing showers, rain transition over to showers and then clearing into the mid to late afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Wind gusts of up to 40. Same thing goes for Prince Edward Island. We are going to see showers and a drizzle on and off throughout the day. Daytime highs between 8 to 12 degrees and wind gusts of up to 50. Precipitation continues for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with wind gusts of 50 as well. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, showers start off the day, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, same thing, but we're going to see a bit more sunshine for parts of Labrador today. Mainly cloudy skies, a chance of flurries returning to the evening with a high of -8. 4 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland, rain and or drizzle expected throughout your day. And then into our forecast for Friday, it will start to cool down across the region, still remaining above seasonal for our daytime highs for the most part. Still seeing a bit of mixed precipitation for parts of the Maritime region and for parts of Newfoundland, still dealing with some precipitation as well. Into Friday night, much of the same, looking at a chance of flurries and continuing over to parts of Labrador, mixed precipitation for Newfoundland. Then into our forecast for Saturday, definitely cooling down for our daytime highs below seasonal and going to see a chance of flurries for the most part, but still seeing a bit of sunshine return for the Maritimes. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda for your national and international news headlines.
Thank you, Latavia. U.S. President Donald Trump says yesterday's shooting attack on 2 National Guard members near the White House highlights the dangers of what he calls lax migration policies. Both Guard members were hospitalized in critical condition. Trump says the suspect who was shot, wounded, and in custody is an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in 2021. He criticizes former President Joe Biden's handling of Afghan evacuees and plans to review those who entered under Biden's administration. Canadians with ties to Hong Kong have been watching with anxiety the news and videos of the fires that have been raging through 7 high-rise apartment towers there for a second day. The tragedy has left at least 55 people dead, dozens more injured, and more than 275 people missing. The 5-alarm fire started on external bamboo scaffolding, then spread to several buildings, fueled by gusty winds. Fire officials say high temperatures at the scene made it difficult to mount rescue operations. 3 men have been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to unveil an agreement with Alberta today, which could pave the way for a new oil pipeline in exchange for stronger environmental regulations. Premier Danielle Smith has said her government has been negotiating with Ottawa a grand bargain that would see the proposed Pathways Alliance carbon capture project move forward alongside a proposed oil pipeline to the West Coast. Standing in the way of a pipeline project is a ban on oil tankers carrying large amounts of crude from areas along BC's northern coast. BC Premier David Eby has called on Ottawa to keep the ban in place. That is a look at your international news headlines. When we return, we'll be talking about cold and flu season with Dr. Lisa Barrett. That's coming up next on Your Morning Atlantic. Please stay with us.
7:20, and we're heading into the busy holiday season with many of us out and about running errands and spending more time gathering and socializing with friends and family. But it's also respiratory virus season, and the last thing you want to do is bring a festive get-together together with flu, COVID, and RSV. So how can we stay healthy over the next few weeks? Well, let's ask Dr. Lisa Barrett, a frequent guest on our show and infectious disease specialist. Good morning, Dr. Barrett.
Good morning.
Great to have you in. Thanks. Let's talk about right now. 'Tis the season for respiratory viruses. We got the RSV, we got the cold, we got the COVID. What's the star of the show these days?
Well, still at the moment, there's more COVID around than RSV or flu. Okay. But we do know from the rest of the world that we're starting to see influenza go up, and it's been a crappy influenza season in other parts of the world, so likely it's going to be a tough one here too.
Interesting. Okay, how dangerous is influenza?
Yeah, sometimes we say the word cold, but really flu is not the cold. It's cold plus. Pneumonias, hospitalizations, people who have bad immune systems go to the hospital all the time, and sometimes younger people too. And so influenza, not just a cold, it's cold plus, and can really cause not just a hospitalization or a pneumonia, but long-term side effects, worsening heart disease, heart attacks, all kinds of things come along with bad influenza. So if you can, it's a good thing not to get.
All right, and then this is the big question. How do we avoid getting respiratory illnesses? We'll begin with flu. Or, you know, what can you do to not get the flu?
You know, I think of it at this time of the year as shared air. And I know this is a common message, but we all share air, and we share it a lot more inside as we get closer to the holidays. COVID, flu, and RSV are all what we call vaccine-preventable diseases. Right now in Nova Scotia, there are free vaccines. We're lucky.
Yeah.
Not all of the world, especially our southern neighbors these days, have such access to free vaccine. We have lots of it. And so one of the best things you can do is get vaccinated, not too late, and just before the holiday season, before you get together, go to long-term care homes or to see your older folks that are in your family. And then the basic stuff. As you say, flu is probably the most dangerous, but COVID and flu are two things that you can get your vaccines for. But simple stuff. Wash your hands, bring tissues, use them once. Good respiratory hygiene. If you're sick, staying away from others who might be vulnerable. That's all really important stuff that we can still do. And some people can wear masks still if they're in big crowded areas or if you have symptoms. Lots of my colleagues, we don't wear masks every single moment, but if you get some symptoms and you're out with other people, especially vulnerable folks, wear a mask.
Okay, let's dig into vaccines a little bit. First of all, sure. I've heard that the flu vaccine that we're getting now in Canada isn't a match for the strain of flu that's going around. Why should we still get vaccinated?
Yeah, so the world picks what strains of influenza are going to go into the vaccine far before we know exactly what the actual strains are going to be. And most years it's a great match, some years it's not. This year it's not a good match, but it still does prevent hospitalizations and ICU admissions in many people. And also, there are other strains that are well matched still, that might not be as common, but are still floating around. And this vaccine will still protect you against those. So the answer, it's not a great match this year, but it is still a great vaccine and something that I certainly will get and encourage all my family to get.
Okay, if you get your vaccine, say for COVID and for flu, how long does it take before it kicks in, if you will, and gives you that immune response?
Ideally, you have a couple of weeks before it's going to give you the best protection. So try and get it done now. A lot of people have been asking me, is it too late? Is it too late? Absolutely not. We haven't seen flu go up really, really fast yet. The trend is starting. And there's still, 6 out of every 100 of the tests we do for COVID are still positive. That's a lot. 6% is still a lot. So it's still around.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think, oh, I've had COVID, so I don't need to worry, but you can always top up. All right, last question we have from the control room. They just want to know about masking, the most recent thoughts on that.
Okay, yeah, so not everyone wears masks all the time. Crowded areas, if you have symptoms, I still wear them on airplanes quite a bit because that's an area where you have recircled air that's not great. And, the IWK, for example, has just brought back their masking for hospitals to protect their kids. Nova Scotia Health, for some reason, hasn't yet, but really do consider it. There's lots of very vulnerable cancer patients, transplant patients, older folks that are in hospitals, so consider that. So is it still worth it is the question. Yes, but all those things we learned during COVID, wash your hands around wearing a mask, use them only until they're not looking good, and put it over your nose.
Yes,
It's still a thing. And for folks that are out there that are older, Nova Scotia has covered the RSV vaccine, taking a little while to get it rolled out to folks, but keep asking about where and when you can get it, because my dad asks me every day. He's on a ban to ask me any more times.
And they do a great job updating that website, so keep refreshing. Thank you so much, Dr. Lisa Barrett.
Great to see you.
You too. All right, let's turn our attention now over to Latavia for a 3-day.
Thanks, Crystal. We're seeing wet weather start off the day in New Brunswick, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a daytime high of 5. On Friday, flurries and no showers return across the province with a high of 3. On Saturday, cooling down to 0, a mix of sun and cloud with increasing cloudiness into the afternoon. Nova Scotia is dealing with wet weather as well this morning, clearing into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 12. Friday, a high of 7, scattered showers, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Saturday, sunshine returns, evening flurries for parts of the province with a high of 1. Prince Edward Island dealing with wet weather as well, a high of 12. 5 degrees on Friday with scattered showers, then seeing sunshine into the afternoon. Sunshine continues into the weekend with a high of 1.
Just ahead this half hour, holiday traditions. Our friend and partner Sherry French will join us with tips on how to create new traditions without forgetting the old ones. It's coming up here in 15 minutes on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic.
Hello, it's 7:30, halfway through the show. So glad that you can join us. If you missed that conversation with Dr. Lisa Barrett, infectious disease specialist, check it out online. Some great information there about staying safe this holiday season, not spreading diseases, not getting an infection. Nobody wants to be put down with a cold or a bad flu or COVID or RSV.
Especially over the holidays. Like, there's no good time for it, but we've experienced that in our household where we were all sick over Christmas. It was so disappointing.
It's so disappointing. You have to miss fun events, or worse, you're just a little bit sick. So you have to make that, do I go or do I not go? If you have to carry on with your life, it just makes everything like 30% draggier and harder. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's why you want to dress appropriate even when you're heading out.
Yes.
If you don't want to just get sick because of the weather and you're not prepared, right? So we are going to see mixed precipitation across the region yet again, starting off for parts of, we're not doing weather right now.
I guess we're going to...
No,
My bad.
It's okay. Well, when you mentioned going out, I was going to say that's perfect because it does bring us to our Move Morning Chat. Because we are asking, besides your phone and your wallet, what do you never leave the house without? So earlier, Latavia was talking about tissues. I talk about dog poop bags. Crystal, what's yours?
Oh my gosh, obviously my reading glasses. I'm blind as a bat without my reading glasses. Like, not for normal, but anything like up close. Yeah. Like, if I don't have my glasses, I'll have to ask a stranger or my children to read the package for me so I can see what's in it.
I'm right there with you now. I don't wear my glasses often, but I need them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. What about when driving outside? Well, in this kind of
if you need glasses, please do wear them.
Well, here's a live look at Charlottetown. You can see a wet start to the day as well. Currently 9 degrees. We are expecting precipitation in your area for much of the day. Just something to keep in mind when you are heading out this morning. Not a bad start to the day for the Maritime region. A bit warmer today. 5 degrees in Fredericton with 10 in Yarmouth, 9 in Halifax, and 7 in Sydney. 9 degrees in Charlottetown as well. Over to our satellite and radar, we do have this low pressure system still tracking across much of the region, bringing showers early this morning, clearing out for much of the Maritimes into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. For Newfoundland and Labrador, starting off the day with a bit of precipitation, but for the most part, seeing a bit of sunshine before this low makes its way over. For our wind, currently for the Maritime region, a bit breezy yet again today, 52 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang, 43 into North Cape, 19 in Lunenburg. Wind gusts of up to 65 right now in Grand Etang and 28 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth. We'll have another look at weather coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Halifax police are investigating a homicide in the city's north end. Police were called to Gondagen Street between North and Kennard just after 11 a.m. Wednesday, where they found a badly injured man. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. At this point, police have provided no other details on the case, including whether any arrests have been made. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he will be seeking a third term as Premier of the province.
But we are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
These things didn't happen.
Houston made the announcement last night as the PCs held a celebration 1 year after their government was re-elected with a super majority. The Conservatives took 43 of 55 seats in the last election. And although this is only year one of the second mandate, last night's announcement sounded like a campaign speech. Houston fired up supporters, saying they have achieved a lot since they were first elected in 2021, but there's still more work to do, and he is committed to defending Nova Scotia.
The PCs are the only party that can defend Nova Scotia. We build it, they try to block us, but we are the party that will build it. And folks, friends, let me be very, very clear with you tonight. When the next election comes, I will be here to see that fight through as leader of the PC party of Nova Scotia.
The government is staring down a $1.2 billion forecast deficit this year. The next financial update from the province is expected sometime next month. The Prime Minister has announced some funding to help the lumber industry expand and diversify in the wake of U.S. tariffs. Mark Carney estimates U.S. tariffs have cost Canada $50 billion so far, about $1,300 for every Canadian. Its 5-year budget goal is to unleash $1 trillion to allow Canadian businesses a chance to diversify. That is about $3,500 per Canadian. Among other measures, the Feds say they'll start subsidizing railway fees by 50% to transport Canadian steel and lumber across the country, and there's real cash available as well.
We will also provide an additional $500 million to the Business Development Bank of Canada's Softwood Lumber Guarantee Program to ensure that companies have the financing and the credit support that they need to maintain and restructure their operations during this period of transformation. And similarly, we will deploy $500 million in funding under the Large Enterprise Tariff Loan Facility, specifically for softwood lumber firms, the larger ones facing liquidity pressures.
The government is also launching a Canadian Forest Sector Transformation Task Force to gather suggestions from provinces, territories, and industry on how to seize new opportunities and grow the sector. Fredericton police are going where they haven't gone before, namely to a number of communities around the capital city. CTV's Laura Brown explains why.
Today, this neighborhood is covered by the New Brunswick RCMP. Next Tuesday, it will be under Fredericton Police jurisdiction.
So we've been aware of this for a while. So we've been taking steps, like proactive steps, to get ready for this transition.
The change stems from local governance reform when new boundaries were drawn more than 2 years ago. For the city, it added several neighborhoods, including Killarney, Douglas, Pepper Creek, McLeod Hill, and the Capital Region landfill. Now, Fredericton Police are officially taking on those neighborhoods under their jurisdiction.
They should expect to see an increased presence. We have some overtime and some extra officers on staff to deal with kind of that initial week, that handover process.
Any open investigations in those areas will carry on with the RCMP, but anything new will be the responsibility of the Fredericton Police. Public Safety Chair Eric McGarity, who also represents one of the areas annexed, believes this is beneficial for those residents.
It's a very positive thing. You know, it had to be done. They're part of the city. We have a police force, so that takes the burden off the RCMP. They have other areas they could patrol, and it gives us the ability to put that service in place for the new residents.
Councillor McGarity says at least a dozen new police officers have been hired, and he's hoping to get some feedback from residents after a few months to see how the change is going.
Expect to see the City of Fredericton Police logo on their streets.
Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Laura. Finally, a California zoo has a new litter of little-known species. Take a look. Do you know what this is called? The fossa, and 3 pups were born at the San Diego Zoo back in July, but fossa moms, they stay in the den for nearly 3 months before the pups venture out. The fossa is closely related to the mongoose and civet, and they are native to the island nation of Madagascar.
Oh,
of course they are.
I like to move it. I like to move it.
Right?
Oh my gosh, Madagascar, that's a great series of movies. A fossa. Those are really cute.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I were to see this without reading the script, I definitely could not tell you what.
Oh, no.
Well, as we know, we're not zoologists.
We certainly aren't, but now we all know what a fossa is.
I know, and the fact that they stay in the den with their mom for 3 months.
I love that idea.
And they
I'd
pop
like to
out.
stay in the den with my mom for 3 months, maybe, or me with my children.
Right? Especially over the winter months.
Yeah.
Woo. Look at them go.
I'd like this den to be in a tropical location, maybe near a beach.
Ooh, that would be
nice.
lovely. They definitely stand out on their own.
Well, you could, this actually brings us to our next story. We'd fly to the location where the den is before we spend our 3 months at the airport. Spirits were high at the airport yesterday as autism aviators got to experience the next best thing to travel this week. Autism Nova Scotia and Halifax Stanfield International Airport shared these images from the annual initiative that sees both organizations teaming up to offer an inclusive and educational event designed for people with autism. Participants enjoy a hands-on walk through the airport, including check-in, security screening, waiting and departures, and then boarding an aircraft without actually taking off and traveling. The event offers a supportive, sensory-friendly environment where participants can experience what it's like to travel by air, reducing stress and increasing confidence for future trips. And they set it to this catchy tune.
Do you know what it is?
I'm sure it's K-pop Demon. No?
What is it?
You don't know? It's Golden. Now I'm shining.
Yeah, you were going hard during the story. But where is it from?
K-pop.
Yeah, see, I knew it.
It's Huntrix.
That's it. Okay.
It is
There
so
we go.
good.
Amanda, concentrate.
Yeah, that's why she was. You should I was reading the script and we're watching the video, but Amanda is basically like doing a full-on choreography.
Yeah, she was. She's
here.
like. I look over. I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, must be K-pop.
I don't know what you're saying. Remember our friend Brianne Foley? She's listening to that at the gym now.
Oh, wonderful! It's very uplifting.
It is.
And Autism Aviator's a great program.
It is.
Absolutely.
All right, we've reached the halfway point of our show, but we hope you'll stick around because we've got so much more to come right after this break. We're going to be talking about holiday traditions.
Our partner and lifestyle contributor, Sherry French, will be here to share her tips on making this time of year extra special. That's coming up right after this.
Another wet live eye, taking a look at Moncton early this morning. Welcome back. The time now is 7:44. 6 degrees in your area, but as you can see here, roads are wet. Keep that in mind when you are heading out for your morning commute. We are expecting showers and or drizzle to continue in your area before clearing out into the afternoon. So we are seeing that wet weather still track across much of the region today and another warmer start to the day. As of right now, it is 9 degrees heading outdoors in St. John, New Brunswick, as well as into Charlottetown and Halifax. 7 degrees in Sydney with -6 into Labrador City, 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. We do have a bit of fog early this morning for parts of the region, seeing wet weather track across all 3 maritime provinces, extending with some mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into the afternoon, much of the same, but we are going to start seeing the system slowly clear out of the maritime region, see a bit of sunshine into the afternoon, and then into the evening and overnight hours for the Maritimes. Remains quite clear. Just a few clouds return, taking us into early Friday morning, where we do expect a bit of sunshine to return, but also a bit of mixed precipitation as well. For Newfoundland and Labrador, they're going to be dealing with that mixed precipitation into tonight, carrying into early tomorrow morning as well. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we're going to see the heaviest around 10 to 20 millimeters for Bathurst, 2 to 10 across Prince Edward Island, and additional 2 to 5 for parts of Nova Scotia. Looking around 2 to 10 millimeters for parts of Newfoundland. And then for our snowfall outlook, we will be seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall for northern New Brunswick and 1 to 10 for both Newfoundland and Labrador. Into our forecast today, starting off with wet weather for New Brunswick, we will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud into the late afternoon. Daytime highs will range from 3 to 11 degrees and wind gusts of up to 40. Prince Edward Island also is going to see wet weather throughout the day. Daytime highs between 8 to 12 degrees, wind out of the southwest, 30 gusts in at 50. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies, periods of rain throughout your day, and then starting to clear into the afternoon, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. For the rest of Nova Scotia, much of the same. Showers and or drizzle starts off the day, clearing, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. For Labrador, looking at a high of -8 today for Labrador City, mainly cloudy skies with a chance of flurries into the evening. And for St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing rain and or drizzle throughout the day. Friday's forecast, we will be seeing a bit of sunshine, but also flurries and or showers for parts of the maritime region, still dealing with periods of rain for parts of Newfoundland. And then into our forecast for Saturday, cooling down for our daytime highs, below seasonal for the most part, still seeing a bit of flurries across parts of Atlantic Canada. Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It is now 7:47. The best part of the holidays for many of us is sharing old traditions with loved ones and making new memories. Our partner and lifestyle and parenting contributor, Sherry French, returns to share ways to keep the holiday traditions going within your families. Welcome back, Sherry.
Thank you, guys, and it's time to decorate. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Oh, gosh, I love decorating. Where do you want to begin?
Well, decorating. So memories, right? I have so many memories of doing decorations as a family with my mom, with my dad. Maybe my dad was not always into it, but a family memory. So decorating your home, what's key about that is spending the time as a family, because I know you've got family all over the place running around. We're busy, but we can make those memories because we have the time during the holidays. I'll be honest, my mom and I have been spending a lot of time at home since. So they have a great mix of cozy decor and family-friendly finds, all at prices that make it easy to celebrate the holidays in style without overspending. So you see some of the things my mom and I got. We've got beautiful throws. I've got this pillow for our couch. Seasonal accents. One guy I got was this polar bear. I had to get him because I just came back from seeing the polar bears in Churchill. They have everything under one roof, and I promise you, you're going to walk the aisles back and forth and keep finding great stuff. I also found some great stuff for the kids for Christmas, puzzles and games. We've got that time over the holidays. I picked up Trivial Pursuit to shock my children, because I don't know about your house, Trivial Pursuit, I think is still perhaps in my parents' living room drawer. We always play games as a family over the holidays. So head to your local HomeSense store. So many great finds for the holidays.
Yeah, lots of great traditions there. Yeah, that pillow is really nice quality too. Okay, you've got the hair appliance there. Dolling up for the holidays is definitely a tradition in my household.
Yes, and I'll be honest, you're lucky you just made this to TV, because Annika is actually home this weekend from university, and she tried to steal this because she already has the original one-step volumizer from Revlon. So you want to start that holiday tradition by gifting great hair days with the very affordable Revlon. This is the limited edition 10th anniversary one-step volumizer. You want to get it for this holiday season. So both of my girls are actually getting it this year. This is the iconic revolutionary one-step volumizer. It changed the game for hair tools. It's turning 10 years old. So it's presented in this beautiful celebratory pearlescent pink limited edition. You can see how beautiful this is. I think that's why Annika wanted to steal it, because of the color. But you're going to get those salon-worthy blowouts, drying and styling in up to half of the time. It's, again, you're going to get more shine. I love this. Fan favorite. Listen to this. Over 488,000 5-star reviews. Okay. So head to Amazon.ca to get this for the holiday season.
It is useful. I love that thing. Okay, we don't have much time, Sherry, so let's get to the last thing. So you've got the cool Barbie jersey there.
Yeah, so sports, you know, is such a big part of my girl's life, and no holiday is complete without sports in our house. Knowing how much sports gave my girls confidence, belief in themselves, following rules. Well, check this out. This year, Barbie and the WNBA have a great way to bring that tradition into your holiday gifting. The two of them actually have teamed up for an exclusive 7-piece apparel collection, now available only at Walmart. You're going to see that bold Barbie pink, the WNBA orange, and special details like the numbers 59 and 96. 59 for when Barbie was established, 96 when the WNBA was established. You're going to get tees, hoodies, joggers. It's a fun way to celebrate women in sports and inspire confidence in, you know, Canadian girls like mine too. Walmart exclusive. You're going to find, I found it right at the front of the store.
Thank you, Sherry. I know we've no time left, but really quickly, I know you have your grandmother's recipe book there, and traditions like that are really special to me.
Great grandmothers. Yep, my mom passed this down to me, and she was actually alive till I was 8, and I remember going to her house, and she made ginger snap cookies every time. It's in this from 1800 and something, handwritten recipes, including cough syrup, and I found a King George cake recipe, if you're interested.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my gosh, I'd love to see that sometimes. Thank you so much, Sherry.
Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.
That was our partner in lifestyle and parenting contributor, Sherry French. And now we're going to turn our attention over to Amanda.
Thanks, you too. And kids, that was cursive writing. Health and medical news now. A cup of coffee a day may possibly lower your risk for abnormal heart rhythm. It is one of the topics in your health. If you start your day with coffee, you might be doing your heart a favor. Researchers are suggesting that it might also protect against atrial fibrillation, a common type of abnormal heartbeat. A small study from the journal JAMA found that indulging in a daily morning brew helped lower the risk of recurrent AFib by nearly 40%. In addition to making you alert and physically active, caffeine can help block certain brain receptors, and that can help steady your heartbeat. It may also help lower blood pressure. But hold the espresso shots and energy drinks for now. This study only looked at moderate coffee use, not a caffeine overload, and not products with other ingredients. Hitting the gym is good for the body and the brain. A new study shows people with higher muscle mass tend to have younger brains. As you age, you gain visceral body fat, a type of fat surrounding the heart, kidneys, and other organs. According to new research, participants with a higher visceral fat-to-muscle ratio had a brain age appearing slightly older than they should. Experts say an aging brain is a top risk factor for developing Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Finally, life coaching may do more than lift your mood. It could help keep your brain in shape. Older adults who are at risk for memory decline do better when they have coaching support while following a healthy lifestyle plan compared to trying to do it on their own. That's according to a new study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. Researchers saw a small but meaningful boost in executive functioning in seniors who were coached. These are the skills that help you plan, focus, and stay organized. Think remembering appointments, paying bills, and keeping up with your grocery list. Everyone in the study followed the same routine that included movement, diet, brain activity, and heart health. But the group, with a coach, showed greater improvements.
Just have one milestone to pass along for you today. It is a 60th anniversary for Alvina and Julian Arsenal of Mont Carmel, Prince Edward Island.
Congratulations, you two. 60 years ago today was the big day. Wow, probably feels like it was just yesterday.
Absolutely. Happy anniversary. All right, well, to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance.
Milestones, brought to you by the Berkeley Retirement Residences. Love this stage of life.
And the Museum of Natural History hosts their holiday Lego show once again.
From local mascots to talking Christmas trees, CTV's Paul DeWitt takes us to Bricks by the Sea.
Welcome to the Museum of Natural History. We're excited to have Bricks by the Sea back here at the museum this year for the holiday season. Once again, our annual Lego show brings out Lego enthusiasts from all around to see our great Lego city. Lots for people to see and explore here at the museum. Every year is different. We try to change the exhibit every year. There are many things that people will see that they've seen every year, but every year there are new things, a new layout, and new Lego sets to explore. There's lots of things that people will see. People who know Halifax will see the museum itself is built into the exhibit this year. Woody the talking Christmas tree makes an appearance. And there's lots of little Lego sets and things from pop culture that people will reference in the exhibit as well. So when people come into the exhibit, there's a chance to do multiple scavenger hunts, some that are easy, some that are very difficult. There's also building tables where children of all ages can build Lego sets, families can build together. So the activities really are based on all age groups, and really we want people to come as a family, spend time together, and play and explore the museum together. The exhibit is on now and stays on view until Saturday, January 3rd. So there's still lots of time over the holidays to see the exhibit as well. And it is a great time to see the museum when people are home for the holidays, come out as a holiday event. And really, it's a great chance to see both this exhibit and the rest of the museum as well. You can see all of our holiday hours on our website, but it is a great chance to come and check out our other exhibits, have a holiday visit with Gus, and really just see your museum over the holidays as well.
Now we're going to take another look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, starting off the day with wet weather, clearing out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 5. 3 degrees on Friday, flurries and or showers for much of the province. And then on Saturday, we will be seeing a mix of sun and cloud with increasing cloudiness with a high of 0. Nova Scotia also dealing with wet weather early this morning, clearing for parts of the province, leaving sunshine with a high of 12. 7 degrees on Friday, scattered showers, and then seeing sunshine yet again into the afternoon. On Saturday, a high of 1, a mix of sun and cloud with chance of flurries into the evening. For Prince Edward Island, a high of 12 degrees today, isolated showers and or drizzle, clearing, leaving a bit of sunshine. 5 degrees for Friday, looking at scattered showers, yet again sunshine into the afternoon, sunny skies on Saturday with a high of 1.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Thursday, November 27th.
We are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he will seek a third term. Your top news headlines just ahead.
And making a list and teching it twice. Amber Mack helps us slay the season with smart gifts for the whole fam. That's a little later this half hour.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, Amber Mack coming up later this half hour to talk tech gifts because it can be overwhelming with the selection out there.
I know. A lot of people love the gift of tech, though.
They do. And I find usually around the holidays, well, not for everyone, but for some, they go, okay, if this is the time we're going to maybe get a joint gift and really do something big and expensive. And usually it's a big appliance or piece of tech.
Yeah, all right.
So she's going to break it down for all ages.
Check it out in a little while, Amanda. First of all, we need to check out the weather with Latavia.
It is quite foggy across parts of the region early this morning and a wet start to the day for much of the region as well. So just prepare for that as you head outdoors.
I'm not joking.
Yeah, here's a look at a foggy start to the day in Peggy's Cove. We're also seeing a chance of showers and or drizzle in that area. Really right across the maritime region is quite a wet start to the day. Just maybe allot some extra time out on your morning commute. Warm start to the day, though, for parts of Atlantic Canada. A bit cooler for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. As of right now, 6 degrees heading outdoors in Moncton, 9 in Halifax, 10 degrees in Yarmouth, 9 in Charlottetown, -11 in Labrador City, and 2 degrees into St. John's. Here's a look at that current system tracking across the region, moving east. As of right now, bringing some wet weather for much of the maritime region into parts of Newfoundland, and that will start to clear out of the Maritimes, leaving a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. In terms of the wind, it's going to be quite a breezy day ahead into the afternoon. As of right now, 43 kilometers per hour in North Cape, 52 in Grand Etang, 17 right now in Halifax, and also into Greenwood, 26 into Yarmouth. For wind gusts, 65 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang with 35 in Yarmouth, 28 into Fredericton. We'll have another look at your forecast coming up, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. A former bouncer has been found guilty of manslaughter in the death of a patron outside a Halifax bar 3 years ago. Ryan Sawyer died in hospital on Christmas Eve of 2022 after being choked outside the now closed Halifax Ale House. Bouncer Alexander Levy testified that he squeezed Sawyer's neck for 10 to 15 seconds. However, the Crown used witness testimony and video footage to argue Sawyer was choked for closer to 2 minutes before his death. The victim's parents say they'll keep fighting for government accountability for bar security staff.
This could have been prevented. We are going to push forward, and we're not going to stop until the Premier of Nova Scotia recognizes that this needs to be done, and it needs to be done with proper regulation. They need to be regulated.
Sentencing is scheduled for April 24th. Neither side knows what they'll recommend yet, and the defense says it's too early to say if they will appeal. 2 people have now been charged in connection with the fatal shooting in St. John more than 2 weeks ago. The shooting happened around 11 p.m. on Remembrance Day on St. James Street. A 42-year-old man was found seriously injured and he later died in hospital. On Tuesday, police charged a 33-year-old man with a second-degree murder and a 27-year-old woman with accessory after the fact. Police say the investigation is ongoing. Police in Halifax are investigating a homicide in the city's North End. Police were called to Gottingen Street between North and Kennard just after 11 a.m. Wednesday, where they found a badly injured man. He was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. At this point, police have not provided details on the case, have provided no other details on the case, including whether any arrests have been made. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he will be seeking a 3rd term as Premier of the province.
But we are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
Houston made the announcement last night as the PCs held a celebration 1 year after their government was re-elected with a supermajority. The Conservatives took 43 of 55 seats in the last election. And although this is only year 1 of the 2nd mandate, last night's announcement had the sounds of a campaign speech. Houston fired up supporters, saying they have achieved a lot since they were first elected in 2021, but there's more work to do, and he is committed to defending Nova Scotia.
The PCs are the only party that can defend Nova Scotia. We build it, they try to block us, but we are the party that will build it. And folks, look, friends, let me be very, very clear with you tonight. When the next election comes, I will be here to see that fight through as leader of the PC party of Nova Scotia.
The government is staring down a $1.2 billion forecast deficit for this year. The next financial update from the province is expected sometime next month. Cannabis is now New Brunswick's most valuable crop, surpassing potatoes and dairy. That's according to the cannabis producer Organigram, which wants to grow even more. To help with that, the province is spending $2 million for upgrades. However, cannabis is exempt from the recent interprovincial trade reduction agreement, but Premier Susan Holt says it can still be included.
So I think the opportunity is still there to make sure that every province is on board and that it's something that that Canadians want. They want to see barriers broken down. They want to see us have it be easy to do business between provinces.
We have a high market share here in New Brunswick, but having that ability to sell cross borders without that additional tax would allow us to be more profitable.
Organigram's biggest markets are in Ontario, Alberta, and British Columbia. The provincial money will go toward Organigram's $9.3 million lighting project for LED fixtures in 75 grow rooms. The Moncton facility employs more than 800 New Brunswickers. Into shape for this morning's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. Crew's been spending plenty of time inflating the giant characters in Manhattan. Dozens of huge balloons are set to take to the skies, including characters like Super Mario, as well as Buzz Lightyear, Pac-Man, and you know what they're going to have this year too? Labubu's.
Labubu's taking over.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll fit on your purse, though. Floats, entertainers, and marching bands also will grace the streets as well.
Wow.
So a lot of work to put it together. Always kind of gives you a little look into pop culture, like what is still popular, what's hanging around, what's new.
Yeah, you could almost
Minions,
tell
apparently.
For sure, yeah, you
Minions
could almost tell the year of the parade based on the characters in it, you know?
Like Spider-Man's still going strong. He's always there. Yeah, Minions have really taken off. I mean, they were just like a side character in Despicable Me back in the day, and now they are their whole own thing.
A movement.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lifestyle, if you will.
A lifestyle, if you will. Oh my gosh. Yeah, great images.
We can look at it all day.
I know, yeah. Just getting it ready, it's amazing.
Okay, a few weeks back we showed you images of the new Komodo dragons at the Toronto Zoo.
Oh yeah.
Well, they have names now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a new footage too. The siblings are going to be called Rhea and Como. Their names were picked after more than 10,000 votes online, and Rhea has already been introduced in her new habitat. Visitors can check her out now. Como is staying in their Wildlife and Health Science Center for a little longer before being brought out. But just these are images of Rhea. She's gorgeous.
Not the last dragon.
No. But Komodo dragons, when I showed these images, or some images of the two, they had photographs back then because they weren't in the enclosure. Komodo dragons are rare. There's only 3,500 of them in the world, even in the wild and in captivity. So, like, the fact that they're doing well is good news.
And is good news.
Speaking of good news, you could win some money. Who wants a $500 gift card? Well, sorry, we're not allowed to win.
Yeah, we can't do it.
Here, but you could win. The Holiday Haul Week on Your Morning Atlantic is happening all week long. We're featuring great holiday gift ideas, also giving you the chance to win a $500 Visa gift card. So simply use that QR code or go to our website, click on the Holiday Haul contest graphic, enter all the info. You could win. We'll announce that winner next Friday, December 5th.
Oh, love it. Oh, and before you know it, we'll be getting snow and hitting the ski hills with snowboarders, but not yet. Until then, we're getting the wet stuff. Yeah, not so busy at Wentworth in Nova Scotia's Cumberland County. The Latavia has the latest look at your Thursday forecast when we return.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:13. We're taking a live look at Burnt Coat Head. We are still seeing showers and or drizzle across much of the Maritime region, but we will be seeing sunshine, as you can see here in our live eye, a little bit later for parts of the Maritimes. Weather is brought to you by ALC.ca. We are seeing a warmer start to the day for much of the Maritime region. As of right now, 9 degrees heading outdoors in St. John, New Brunswick, as well as into Charlottetown, 11 in Halifax, 7 degrees in Sydney with -10 in Labrador City, and 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at that low-pressure system tracking across the region, still bringing some mixed precipitation to parts of Newfoundland. Into the Maritime region, looking at periods of rain early this morning, fog patches as well, still continuing as we inch towards the afternoon. But this precipitation will start to clear out, bringing a little bit of sunshine our way. And then into the evening and overnight hours, we see a lot of that clear out of the Maritime region, remaining dry into the overnight hours. And then Newfoundland and Labrador still dealing with that precipitation as this low pressure system takes over. And then into early Friday morning, another sunny day ahead, but we do still have a mix of precipitation lingering across parts of the region. If you are wondering about precipitation totals, seeing the heaviest of 10 to 20 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of New Brunswick, and looking at 2 to 10 for Prince Edward Island, and only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters of additional precipitation for parts of Nova Scotia. Newfoundland will see around 2 to 10 millimeters. For our snowfall outlook, only seeing around 1 to 5 centimeters for northern New Brunswick, and then into Newfoundland and Labrador, seeing 1 to 10 centimeters of snowfall, the heaviest being 10 to 15 for Labrador City. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Starting off the day with wet weather that will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Daytime highs will range from 3 to 10 degrees and wind gusts of up to 40. And then for Prince Edward Island, highs between 8 to 12 degrees. We are going to see showers and a drizzle on and off throughout the day. And Cape Breton, eastern mainland Nova Scotia, rain will clear out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud for parts of this part of the province. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Wet weather early in the morning, clearing, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Labrador, going to see a bit of sunshine for that province, but also -7 for Labrador City, mainly cloudy skies with evening flurries. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, rain and or drizzle expected throughout your day. For our forecast for Friday, temperatures start to cool down, still remaining above seasonal for parts of the region. We are dealing with some showers and or flurries for parts of the Maritimes, extending into parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. And then into our forecast Friday night, that increases across the region, bringing us into early Saturday, a cold day ahead with sunshine, but also still lingering flurries and or showers. That's a look at your weather forecast. We'll throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. U.S. President Donald Trump says yesterday's shooting attack on 2 National Guard members near the White House highlights the dangers of what he calls lax migration policies. Both Guard members were hospitalized in critical condition. Trump says a suspect who was shot, wounded, and in custody is an Afghan national who entered the U.S. in 2021. He criticizes former President Joe Biden's handling of Afghan evacuees and plans to review those who entered under Biden's administration. Hong Kong's deadliest fire in decades is still burning. The massive blaze that broke out Wednesday afternoon, local time, in a complex of 8 high-rise apartment buildings has left at least 55 people dead and 279 others missing. 7 of the 8 towers caught fire. Police arrested 3 men on suspicion of manslaughter in connection with the blaze. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to unveil an agreement with Alberta today, which could pave the way for a new oil pipeline in exchange for stronger environmental regulations. Premier Danielle Smith has said her government has been negotiating with Ottawa on a grand bargain that would see the proposed Pathways Alliance carbon capture project move forward alongside a proposed oil pipeline to the West Coast. Standing in the way of a pipeline project is a ban on oil tankers carrying large amounts of crude from areas along BC's northern coast. BC Premier David Eby has called on Ottawa to keep the ban in place. Canadians are getting an alarming new glimpse into the state of the healthcare system. A new report reveals the number of patients who've died waiting for medical care. CTV's Heather Wright has more.
Debbie Fuster had survived breast cancer and expected a full recovery from triple bypass surgery. Except the Manitoba woman died before ever having the procedure.
It still feels like shock.
Daniel Fuster says doctors told his mom she needed heart surgery within 3 weeks. She was left waiting for nearly 3 months.
There was some major mess ups that resulted in her file basically not going to where it needed to go.
Fuster is not alone. According to public policy think tank secondstreet.org, nearly 25,000 patients died in Canada while waiting for surgeries or diagnostic procedures between April 2024 and March 2025. But the organization warns the numbers are likely higher, as many provinces don't track these deaths or only collect partial data.
Fundamentally, these are embarrassing numbers, and I think that's why governments are not keen to go out and track them carefully.
Second Street is calling on all provinces and territories to track and disclose these deaths. They also want to see hospital funding tied directly to performance, a reform they believe will improve wait times.
It's crazy to keep doing the same thing throwing money at the system and hoping something will change.
Another proposed reform is Debbie's Law, a Manitoba private members bill championed by the Fuster family, which would require health authorities to inform patients when life-saving treatment cannot be provided in a timely manner.
Debbie's Law is not perfect. It's not going to solve every problem, but it is a great starting point to begin asking for transparency.
This year's numbers mark a 3% increase from last year, and according to Second Street, since 2018, more than 100,000 people have died in Canada while waiting for some sort of surgery or procedure. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Thank you, Heather. A quick break here on CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we are talking tech for holiday gifts or for yourself. That's when we return on the other side of the break. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:23. We're going to take another look at your 3-day forecast for New Brunswick. Starting off the day with rain, transitions over to showers and or drizzle, then clearing for parts of the province, leaving a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 5. On Friday, cooling down for your daytime high to 3 degrees. Flurries and or showers returning for parts of the province. And on Saturday, cooling down 0 with a mix of sun and cloudy skies for parts of the province as well. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 12 degrees, scattered showers, clears out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. On Friday, a high of 7 degrees, scattered showers, yet again seeing sunshine into the afternoon. And then on Saturday, a high of 1, seeing a mix of sun and cloud for much of the province, but we do have evening flurries expected. Prince Edward Island, looking at a high of 12 degrees today. Isolated showers and or drizzle will clear out for parts of the province, leaving a bit of sunshine. Then on Friday, a high of 5, looking at scattered showers and a mix of sun and cloud. And then on Saturday, sunshine, but cooling down to a high of 1.
Thanks, Latavia, and we love to hear from you. Here's a reminder of how you can connect with us. Simply send us an email at yourmorning@ctvatlantic.ca, or you can send us a text anytime at 10-400. We love to hear from you. Send us your photos, send us your comments, and send us your videos too, because we really do check every email personally. All right, it's 8:24. We'll take a quick break and be back with more of the show right after this. Welcome back. It's 8:26. Now, a reminder, if you can send us your thoughts on the Move Morning Chat today, text us at 10-400. What's the thing you can't leave the house without? We're not talking wallet. We're not talking phone. We're not talking keys. We're talking unusual things. For example, for me, it's my reading glasses. I actually even put them in my running pouch when I go for a run, because you never know when you're going to have to read something along the way. And we've got some great responses so far. Amanda's working hard behind the scenes to bring things on the show at the end of the show. Okay, time now to check in with our next guest. We're well into the holiday shopping season. There are many gift-giving options for the gadget lover out there. It can be a little bit overwhelming to decode. So here to help showcase the newest and coolest tech gifts for all your family members is our partner and tech contributor, Amber Mack. Good morning, Amber.
1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Amber. So it looks like we might be having a few tech issues. We'll take a quick break, sort those out, and be back with Amber right after this. Now 8:27. Oh, it looks like she might be there. Amber, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, hurrah, hurroo. Great to see you, yeah? It's so ironic that you're a tech expert and we're having some tech issues. Interesting. All right, let's begin with some gifts for teens and tweens. They can be hard to buy for, but it looks like you've thought of some thoughtful options.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of options. First up is the Cricut Joy Extra. This is so much fun for those crafting beginners or DIYers. You can create custom gifts like printing on t-shirts or create holiday decor or custom cards. So a really great pick, again, for any crafters on your list. And if we stick with what tweens and teens love, you probably have a gamer on your list. So the Nintendo Switch 2 is super hot right now. You can play at home or on the go. It has a bigger screen. It's faster. The new Joy-Con 2 controllers snap on magnetically, which is super cool. and lots of new games out there, including for Mario fans, Super Mario Galaxy plus Super Mario Galaxy 2. So a couple of really great picks for tweens or teens.
Perfect. Those are great suggestions. And Amanda Debison is listening about that Mario stuff. Okay. I love the gift of smart home gift because it's such a wow factor in this gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, this one's kind of for me because I love smart home stuff as well. So I hope someone is listening on my end. So a couple of items here. The TP-Link Tapo Smart Wi-Fi Door Lock. This is really great for anyone on your list. So it makes it super easy to be able to set temporary codes for people coming in and out of the house. You can see here, super easy to install as well. So this is a great pick for someone, even creating codes for people coming for the holidays, for example, or maybe you have a dog walker, whatever that might be. So a really great option for anyone on your list who wants to be able to take their home in a high-tech direction. Now, if we move from outside of the house in terms of the smart door lock and talk about robots, those are really hot this year. So we have the Roborock Q Revo Curve Robot Vacuum and Mop, which is a really great pick if you want to do hands-free cleaning, which I love. I have 2 dogs at home, and I have to say it gets pretty messy. I have to almost vacuum and mop every single day, which is a little intense. It has anti-tangle technology. What does that mean? It means that it prevents any of those hair clogs, which is super, super important. And then this side brush for that really difficult cleaning in those corners of your house as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that there's a mop feature too. That is next level.
It is next level. And it's interesting when you say that, when you think about a robot vacuum, typically you've just had the vacuum, but this one, it absolutely mops as well. So really cool in terms of the dock too.
Yeah, okay, and you've got one more great suggestion. What is it?
Yeah, so all of us have someone who loves tablets on our list, like my mom loves reading on her tablet. So I have one of the newest things out there, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S11 Ultra. This is a beautiful tablet. It's super, super thin. It is bright. It is light. It has a bunch of AI features built in. You can get this over at Best Buy Canada on their holiday gift guide. Lots of great picks there. And if you order online, you can pick up in as little as 1 hour at a store near you. So a really great pick for a tablet lover on your list. 14 inches, just super, super gorgeous. Great for work, but also just great if you love to watch videos or do creating images as well. It's a ton of fun.
Yeah, and I love it. It's discreet and so chic. Thank you so much, Amber.
Well said. Well said.
All right, this has been a pleasure. I hope you get to at least spend some time with your family in PEI this holiday season, Amber.
We're on our way there in 2 weeks. I can't wait.
Fantastic. All right. We'll take a little break. CTV's Your Morning Atlantic. We'll be right back after this.
Just ahead this half hour, we'll be talking about some lovely beauty products you can add to your gift list or the gift list of someone else in your life. That's coming up here in our last 30 minutes of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic, Canada, and welcome back. The time now is 8:32. Excited to share that interview with Mira Estrada. We were talking about Black Friday deals last week, preparing for what's to come, and she has great suggestions for you.
Yeah, oh, definitely looking forward to that. She always has great ones. Okay, big thing you need to know today, how to dress, because the weather's a little bit here, there, and everywhere, depending on where you are.
This week has been all layers.
It really has, every layer, all the layers.
Here's a live look at Edmonton. Currently not seeing precipitation in your area right now. Just something to keep in mind, though, when you are heading out, because we are seeing precipitation for much of the region. 0 in your area as of right now. For the current temperatures for the Maritime region, quite a warm start to the day for the most part. 4 degrees in Fredericton, 9 in Charlottetown, 11 degrees in Halifax, 2 degrees into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our satellite and radar, you can see that low pressure system currently tracking across the region, bringing showers and/or flurries for much of Atlantic Canada. We are going to see a bit of sunshine return for the Maritime region into the afternoon. Breezy wind yet again today. Right now, 54 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang with 43 in North Cape, 22 in Yarmouth and in St. John, New Brunswick, 20 into Grand Manan. Wind gusts as of right now, 69 kilometers per hour in Grand Etang. We're looking at 35 in Grand Manan, 39 in Woodstock, 33 in St. John, New Brunswick. We'll have one last look at your long-range forecast, but first, one last look at your top news headlines with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston says he'll be seeking a third term as Premier of the province.
But we are on the right path, and the rest of the country is taking notice.
Houston made the announcement last night as the PCs held a celebration 1 year after their government was re-elected with a super majority.
The PCs are the only party that can defend Nova Scotia. We build it, they try to block us, but we are the party that will build it. And folks, friends, let me be very, very clear with you tonight. When the next election comes, I will be here to see that fight through as leader of the PC party of Nova Scotia.
The government is staring down a $1.2 billion forecast deficit this year. The next financial update from the province is expected sometime next month. New Brunswick's Premier Susan Holt spoke about the impact of U.S. tariffs on the forestry sector at a Chamber of Commerce event. While in Moncton yesterday, Susan Holt admitted the impact of American tariffs has been significant, noting the resulting layoffs are having a direct impact on the economy.
Not a pretty hand that we've been dealt, and when our exports switch number to about 17 billion, 92% of those go to the U.S. This is really a time to retool and to look in other directions.
Holt says the province will launch an economic development strategy in the coming months. A new report this morning from the Canadian Institute for Health Research says health spending is expected to exceed economic growth. For more on this, we bring in CTV Scott Hurst. Scott, how are inflation and a population increase really driving public sector spending?
Good morning, Amanda. Those are some of the main factors making it more expensive to deliver care in Canada, along with an aging population, as the new report detailing health spending in Canada is emphasizing the need for innovation in how we deliver care right across this country. Health spending in this country is expected and projected to reach $399 billion this year, and the cost to deliver care is expected to outpace economic growth, pointing to inflationary pressure, population growth, and an aging population. So the report points out in the current environment, simply boosting spending is increasingly difficult with the ongoing economic pressures. And it's not just about throwing money at the problem, meaning spending alone cannot address the challenges impacting patients and the care that is provided. So as a surgeon prides themselves on precision, investments in healthcare, according to the report, need to be made where they can truly make a difference. Without innovation, spending alone will not address the challenges, Amanda.
Okay, Scott, where are we seeing healthcare funding being spent the most?
Now, the major areas of spending include hospitals. They are eating up the biggest chunk at about 26% of total health expenditures in 2025. And we have a graph that can kind of put how all the expenditures are totaling what Canada is spending, with hospital spending projected to grow by 4% in 2025. That's followed by physicians at just under 14% and drug expenditures at about 13%. And those three categories alone are expected to represent more than 50% of total health spending in Canada. Ultimately, as the report points out, Amanda, how we spend and innovation really much more important than overall spending in how much to keep up with the demands on the healthcare system.
Well, Scott, thank you so much. There are the numbers there. Thank you so much for breaking down the numbers for us. And I know if people want to take a more detailed look at this report, they can always go to our website. CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. Thank you, Scott. Finally, an Alberta man has reunited a stuffed bunny he found at the Vancouver airport with its owner after quite the adventure. Joey Gibbs found the stuffy while waiting on a flight to Seoul and decided to take it traveling, detailing the bunny's adventures on social media. WestJet contacted Gibbs to say the owner had been found. Turns out a mother and her young daughter had lost the bunny while returning from a visit home to China. And Gibbs says he's just glad the bunny's story had a happy ending. Very sweet.
Of a happy ending.
Happy to be reunited.
They're cute, fluffy stuffies, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those jelly bean ones, those are popular.
All right, now we're going to take a look at our community calendar. So 'tis the season for giving back. In Fredericton, the annual Community Grocers Holiday Turkey Drive is wrapping up on the 29th of November. This event is for Greener Village. It's helping to ensure every family can gather around the table for a holiday meal. Every $35 donation actually provides a turkey for a family in need, but any amount of contributions can help. Head over to the website to find out how you can contribute. All right, now we're going to go to Nova Scotia. Christmas tree lighting. This is the annual Christmas tree lighting over in Sackville. It's taking place at Acadia Park. This will be on November 29th. You can head to the website for additional details, but there will also be a celebration before that. This will be for kids, and there will be hot chocolate, live entertainment treats, and some art that you can do as well. All right, so if you do have an event taking place, we'd love to know all about it. Send us the details, Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
All right, and we got one last look at the forecast with Latavia on this very wet Thursday, and then shopping sooner and smarter. Why be a last-minute shopper when there are so many deals from Canadian companies to be had right now? Our partner Mira Estrada will highlight some of her favorites when we return.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:43. Taking a live look at Somerville. Chance of showers and or drizzle early this morning. With a current temperature of 10 degrees, you will be seeing a bit of sunshine into the afternoon. Pretty much exactly what we're expecting for much of the Maritime region today. 4 degrees as you head outdoors in Fredericton, 9 into Charlottetown with 11 degrees in Halifax, 7 into Sydney, minus 12 degrees currently in Labrador City, and 2 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Over to our forecast timeline. A bit of fog early this morning, periods of rain, transitioning over to a chance of showers and or drizzle. We do have a bit of mixed precipitation for the far northern region of New Brunswick and seeing mixed precipitation across parts of Newfoundland. Into the afternoon, a bit of clearing of that precipitation. Going to be seeing a bit of sunshine return in the region, as well as into parts of Labrador, still seeing sunshine as this low pressure system continues to make its way over. That's when we start to see into the evening hours, mixed precipitation across both Newfoundland and Labrador. Pretty clear skies, just partly cloudy for the evening hours for the Maritime region. Taking us into early Friday morning, we do expect sunshine, but also a chance of flurries and or showers remaining. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, the heaviest being 10 to 20 millimeters for parts of Bathurst. This is additional to what we received yesterday. 2 to 10 across Prince Edward Island and around 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Nova Scotia. And then for Newfoundland, looking at around 2 to 10 millimeters expected. And then for the northern region of New Brunswick, we are going to see around 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall, and then seeing around 1 to 5 as well for parts of Newfoundland, getting up to 5 to 10, or 10 to 15 now to Labrador City. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. As I had mentioned, rain starts off the day clears, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon with highs between 3 to 10 degrees, wind gusts of up to 40. Prince Edward Island also seeing daytime highs between 8 to 12 degrees. Showers and or drizzle will clear for parts of the province, leaving a bit of sunshine. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, same thing applies. Wet weather early in the morning into the mid to late afternoon, seeing a mix of sun and cloud. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, wet weather also starts off your day clearing, leaving sunshine with highs between 11 to 12. And then for Newfoundland and Labrador, that's where we see a high of minus 7 degrees in Labrador City. Mainly cloudy skies with evening flurries. We are going to see sunshine for much of the province. And then for Newfoundland, we are dealing with a bit of mixed precipitation. A high of 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Rain and or drizzle expected throughout your day. For our forecast on Friday, cooling down a bit, still remains above seasonal for much of our daytime highs. We are going to see sunshine in the forecast, but also a low chance of some flurries and or showers. Same thing goes for parts of Newfoundland, seeing periods of rain as it clears out. And then into Friday evening, much of the same expected. We are going to see flurries return across parts of Labrador, mixed precipitation for parts of Newfoundland. And then for the Maritime region, looking at some flurry activity. Into Saturday, the weekend forecast, cooling down below seasonal daytime highs. Lots of sunshine returns in the Maritime region, still dealing with a bit of flurry action. And same thing goes for Newfoundland and Labrador. A chance of flurries returns, Crystal.
Thank you, Latavia. It's now 8:46. With Black Friday and Cyber Monday right around the corner, our partner and lifestyle contributor Mira Estrada returns to share ways you can shop smart and shop Canadian to get the best deals. Good morning, Mira.
Good morning. I'm in my Canadian red, ready to go.
We love it. All right, let's talk about some, Black Friday and Canadian shopping behavior.
Yeah, so a new Lightspeed commerce study has showed that actually over 51% of Canadians are actually swapping Boxing Day with Black Friday. seeing better deals there. And that shift is really fueled by the younger demographic, around 60 plus percent of those. And there's some stats there. And you can see 79% of Canadians are actually choosing to shop domestically this year. And really, they are saying that Black Friday has really replaced Boxing Day. And so with that in mind, with that great Lightspeed Commerce study, I want to show you some of the amazing Canadian brands that are some of my personal faves, which I think are great for your Black Friday shopping.
Fantastic. All right, let's begin. You've got some beautiful, cozy things there on the table in front of you.
Yes, so La Vie en Rose, this, like, the holiday season is their time to shine. And I'm a little bit jet lagged. I just came back from Paris 2 days ago, and I took 2 of these sets, and I love the mix and match. They have the flannel, which is really big. That micro fleece feels so good. And then teddy bear prints are really, really big right now. I have those teddy bear prints pajamas on right now. And I just love how you can mix and match the pairs. And right now, so you can get, if you buy 3 sets, $22.95. If you buy 2, $26.95. And a single set is $34.95. I say go for the 3 because then you can keep 2 for yourself and do all of that mixing and matching and just feel just like a cozy, warm hug.
Yeah, I actually checked that out. The stuff is beautiful. The quality is excellent, too. All right, I love that.
So cozy, comfy.
I love to be cozy, comfy all the time, especially outside when there's a chill in the air.
Oh, okay. So next up, we have Broom. This is Montreal-based. Again, I took a ton of these pieces with me on holiday, and I felt so good. I love that they're all about, they don't think confidence should be shouted. It should be felt in its winter wear, really from movement. Can you see the detail on the pieces?
Yes.
The buckle, there's a little bejeweled on that toque, like beautiful, beautiful handmade pieces. Everything from the mitts to the gloves and to the hat. And I know that was perfect for Paris, that little beret. And they do have men's pieces as well. And what I like about their take on Black Friday is because they don't want to compromise that beautiful craftsmanship. More simple gestures, things like free shipping that they're doing, or smaller, more meaningful discounts, which I think is great. And this is such a beautiful company to support with, as you can see, absolutely stunning outerwear pieces.
Yeah, and Montreal is like the Paris of Canada. So, you know, you get the chic stuff and supporting local. We love this. And what do we have in front of you?
And then we have some skincare. So this is Palm. I love the story behind this. So it was really one mother's mission to make those everyday routines in our hand care feel more luxurious and spa-like. And it is very much clean, vegan, plant-based formulas. And think about it, those everyday routine things we're doing as moms, as women, constantly washing those hands, moisturizing. This turns them into more of a self-care ritual. And for Black Friday and all of Cyber Week, 40% off site-wide, as well as a free full-size gift with purchase during Cyber Week. And I just love that they also have very much about sustainable gifting. So they have refill pouches. I think these just make beautiful, say in your guest bathroom accents, a great gift to give to a hostess maybe while you're going to a holiday party. And I just love popping one of these into my purse as well.
Yeah.
And so I love what the studies have shown us, the Lightspeed Commerce studies, that, you know, we've taken that Black Friday import and really made it our own. We're 79%, we're choosing to shop domestically. And, you know, we're doing it our way. We're doing it the Canadian way.
Yeah, for sure. No, and with great choices like this. Tell me the name of the company of the skincare again. How do you pronounce that?
Palm.
Palm.
So think palm of your hand. And they just started with a antibacterial gel, and now it is this full hand care movement.
It started with the gel. Now it's a whole movement. All right. Thank you so much, Mira.
Thank you.
That was our partner and livestock contributor, Mira Estrada. It's 8:50. Time to take a break. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after this.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Hey, welcome back. We have our responses to our Move morning chat. So we were asking, like, when you're leaving your house, think about this when you're going this morning, besides like your phone, your wallet. What is something that you never leave without? And your keys too, I guess you could say. You guys have some really cool answers. So we begin with Victoria from Halifax, who says, I don't leave the house without a lip balm.
Oh, yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I have them tucked everywhere. Anna Marie and Monica also texted us that answer too. Candace from Cape Breton says, I always have cough drops on me all year long. Hall's Honey Lemon.
I love that one.
Running, yeah, she says, while running, they help me breathe through allergy season. Warm the air before it hits my lungs in winter, and somehow also cools me in the summer heat humidity. She says she's also known, like she's so well known for having these cough drops on her that like when she's doing a running race, she'll have people say, hey, can you give me a cough drop?
Wow.
She says that happens. And by the way, she also runs to K-pop Demon Hunters. So thank you,
Candace. It's like, did you write this in? Amanda
Right. Amanda wrote this.
I am Candace. Melanie from Moncton says, kind of different, but same. I never leave the house with some kind of candy, not chewy, hard candy. Clay's old-fashioned hard candies is the best and my favorite. She says it can be kind of hard to find though, so if she can't find that one, she uses some kind of peppermint candy. She says having candy in your car helps keep you aware when you're feeling tired behind the wheel.
Oh yeah.
Especially peppermint.
Oh,
it's true, Melanie. It's so true.
What a great idea. Next one is from Mary, and I have to tell you, my husband does this too. A nail file and a Band-Aid live in my bag at all times. Small things, but they've saved many a moment. I find that's when I'm in the car, I look at my hands and I think, oh no, you got a hangnail or you want to trim something.
Yep. I have the exact same, and I have bad eczema on my hands, so Band-Aids are key.
That's a good one.
Okay, good to know. She got little kids too. Michelle from Dieppe is just like our friend Erin Hopkins. She says, I never leave the house without my water bottle.
Amazing. Hope you drink it more than I do.
It's not just a prop. Okay, you guys, now we have some funny answers.
Okay, give it to us.
Kim from Rexton says, I never leave without my glasses and my patience. I'd rather forget my glasses than have no patience. LOL. Some people don't people well.
Very true.
So yeah.
So funny. Steve from Halifax too says, okay, can't leave without my cell phone. My cell phone is my wallet because Apple Pay and apartment keys, but also can't leave without clothes.
That is a very good answer.
That's true, Steve. That is so true. I wonder if he means like a change of clothes, just in case an adventure happens.
No, I don't know. He means clothes on his body.
He kind of wrote like,
you
LOL.
can do what you will, but I don't know if that's allowed.
I'm like, Steve, get in the car, I'll explain later. And you know, and
like, oh, that's Steve right there.
Love it.
Finally, Tony from Milton says, I can't leave the house without my dog, Ace. If I leave, he jumps on the kitchen table and barks out the window until I come back, and he is no small dog. And guess what? We got a photo of Ace.
Oh, big boy.
Oh my gosh, Ace is awesome.
So cute.
My gosh, he's gonna come and steal your dog. I love him.
Beautiful. Well, I don't think he's gonna leave his side.
No. You couldn't really tuck him in a pocket.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Thank you for all those great responses.
Yeah,
oh my
thank you so
gosh.
much for answering our question today.
Yes.
Super fun. We'll have another topic here on the show for Friday morning. So yeah, we're back here tomorrow from 6 until 9. No matter how long you watch the show for, we're just happy that you're a part of our morning.
Yeah, and if you missed it, you can catch some of our segments online. All right, we have to go. We will see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. for the last show of the week. Enjoy this day.
Bye.